What's up, geometry? So this right here is question numbers 1 through 6. Question 1, well, notice that there's 3 lines, there's a plane, and then there's a bunch of points. And the points are all over the place. Some of the points are on the plane, some of the points are not. Question 1, what are 2 different names of line N? So first thing I want to do is I want to find where line N is located and highlight that, just so we know what we're talking about for this problem. And line N is right here. That's line N right there. So what's 2 different names for line N? Well, you could call it line N, right? You definitely don't want to use that name because they've already used it. And then the second name you could do is you could do any 2 points can name a line, right? So you could go line A, J, and then you put the little symbol on top, right? Line AJ, okay? You could say line JG, right? JG. That totally works with the line symbol on top. And then finally, you could also say AG. Now, the order in which you put the letters is totally up to you. They don't have to be from the bottom up. You could have gone GA, or you could have gone GJ, or JA. You'll notice that none of my names include the letter N, and that's because N by itself names the line and not those points. All right, let's take a look. Question number 2. What are 2 different names for plane CBG? All right, so here the reminder is you need to pick 3 points. And those 3 points need to form a triangle and be on the plane at the same time. All right, so first thing is you cannot pick H and I. You'll notice H way up in the middle of the sky, that point right there, and I at the bottom. Those are not actually on the plane, so using those to name the plane wouldn't make sense. So we're not going to use those 2 points right there. And then the next thing is we can use any other point. We just have to make sure that they form a triangle. All right, so if they form a line, that's not okay. So CBG, another name I could go for is I could name it like perhaps JJDF, right? And then I would put the word plane in front, plane JDF. And then you can get real fancy. See that guy right there? How there's no point associated with it? You could call it plane U. Plane U. That's the fancy way, but that's not necessary to write it that way, but you could. A single letter that's not associated with a point often recognizes either a plane or a line. Planes, usually the uppercase letters. All right, moving on. What is the point of intersection for lines M and N? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find those lines. Line M is this guy right there. Oh, there's line M. And then line N, the next point, and the next one is going to be right here. And you'll notice that the red line and the blue line intersect at point J. So that's what I'm going to use, is I'm going to use point J. So I'm going to say that line M and N intersect at point, so I'm going to say point J. Notice I write the word point. I don't use any abbreviations. That's how you write a point. Okay, you write the word point followed by the letter. Question 4, what is the point of intersection of line L and plane CBG? All right, so plane CBG is the flat surface. Line L is this guy right here, right? That's line L. And, ooh, you'll notice that the line is solid till there, and then it's dotted. That dotted line means it just passed through the plane, and it's disappeared, and then it reappears. We can now see it again. All right, so it looks like point Q. Point Q is going to be our answer for question number 4. Right, point Q is where the line intersects the plane. Let me get rid of that. I'll just write point Q, point Q. All right, moving on. Question 3. Identify 3 collinear points. Any 3 points that are on a line. All right, any 3 points that are on the line or a line. You could say points. This would be my first points H, Q, and I. H, Q, and I. That would be totally viable right there because H, Q, and I are all on line L. So you're looking for 3 points that are on a line. Question 6, identify 4 coplanar points. So to identify coplanar points, you're just looking for points that are on the plane. This one here is pretty much any 4 points with the exception of H and I. And you definitely don't want to use the letters L, M, and N because they're not points. And neither is U. U is not a point. So you can pick any 4 points that are on the plane. So any 4 points. So my answer for question 6 is going to be points. Right, and then I'm just going to start picking them. Points E, D, G, and F. And if you wanted to pick all more, you could go C, A, B, J, G, right? All those points totally work, but we're going to go with that right there.